Hi, I'm Greg Dell here with attorney Alexander Palomara, and we're going to do a review summary of New York Life. And on our website where we're putting this video, there's a lot of reviews about New York Life, formerly Cigna, which is already a couple years ago, but some people still have policies that say Cigna. And we create this portion of our website because we want New York Life's actions and the way in which they review claims and the experiences that people are having to be known. We don't want New York Life to hide in their behind their billion-dollar wall of business and their buildings all over the place to be able to just run over people. And we want people to really have information to be able to get their claims approved and stay on claims. So these reviews that we really appreciate people putting out there are great because it gives people a place to share their experiences, vent their frustration, and prevent New York Life from behaving in a manner that leads to a denial of a claim and could be considered inappropriate. But for our purposes, Alex, let's talk about how we see it on our side and share our views about what we think of New York Life from being in the pits every day and from handling thousands of New York Life claims. So when a claimant first calls you and they go, Alex, I got this claim with New York Life, whether they want to apply, they've been denied, they just want help with their claim, what are the things that come to your mind because of handling so many New York Life claims?
Okay, well, first and foremost, most people come to us when they're denied. And one thing I have to say is that you're dealing with a frustrating company. You're being very frustrated, and I understand why, because you're dealing with a company that really frustrates me on a regular basis. And you're not alone, you know. It's not unique how they're treating you, and they're treating you terribly. It's not unique. They do it to a lot of people. So when people leave the reviews on our website, and they're going to hear it in this video now and all of our videos, is that the insurance company New York Life, they keep on using the same tricks of every single claim. So if we all talk about the tricks, we can prevent them from using these tricks going forward. So when people come to me about New York Life claims, I know that we have to provide a lot of proof of the claim to make sure that it's open and shut, that proves my client is disabled. If they have any opening whatsoever, if you get caught not sitting in records or not responding quick enough, they're going to deny your claim. And dealing with New York Life is very frustrating. Sometimes they don't even give the last name of the person handling your claim. It's like Nicole. It's like, so you call New York Life, it says, hey, I'd like to speak with Nicole, you know, and it's like, they don't even give you the person's extension. It's a frustrating experience calling them, and believe me, I get it. I hate to say that you're not unique. You are a unique person, but your situation with New York Life is not unique. They treat everybody one and the same.
All right. We see from the reviews that there's delays. They claim they got something. You know, they didn't get something. The claimant says, I sent it to you 3 times. They say that New York Life called them. Claimant says, I never got a message. Payments are, you know, they pay them for a little bit, then they deny them, and they send them a 2-page letter at best. I mean, endless things that keep going with the delays. They'll send them a claim form 1 month, and then claimant just sent it 2 months earlier, and they're like, I want another one, and they're like, you know, I have a herniated disc, it's permanent, I just had surgery, what do you think, there's nothing I can do, I've been on meds for 1.5 years, I've had 3 injections, what do you want me to do? And it just keeps going and going, and that is a significant source of frustration. But a lot of frustration also starts with the policy language. Specifically because New York Life is following the language of their policy, meaning definition of disability or other limitations in the policy, and they're trying to enforce those policies. And group policies, especially through New York Life, don't necessarily have the best language in the world. So what do you see within these policies causes the most frustration for policyholders?
Well, New York Life they bought, you know, Life Insurance Company of North America, or Cigna's book of business a couple of years ago now.
Which made them like top 2 or 3 sized disability company in the world.
So they have experience writing these policies. I'm not going to say if it's been 50 years. I have no idea when they started doing disability insurance claims, but they have experience writing these policies. They've perfected them over the year. When I say perfected them, I mean not perfection for our clients, perfection for them. So it gives them the best ability to deny claims. You know, the ERISA laws are not favorable to an insured person, to a claimant, and these policies, for the most part, are not favorable to our clients either. And the reason why they're not favorable because they're written, the language is getting stronger and stronger. That makes it harder and harder to be approved for benefits. But typically for the first 2 years of your claim, you have to prove that you're unable to perform the duties of your own occupation. Now, it's not your specific job. You know, let's say you're a nurse who has to work, whatever it is, 12 on, 12 off, or whatever it is. They don't care. It's how a nurse performs her job in the national economy. So if your specific job requires you to lift 100-pound boxes to put on a shelf every day at the end of your shift, not taking that into account whatsoever. It's how your job is performed in the national economy. And then the worst part is that after 2 years of benefits, if you're lucky enough to be on claim for 2 years, typically the definition of disability changes. And then at that point, you have to prove that you're unable to perform the duties of any occupation. Now, any occupation is supposed to take into account your training, education, and experience, and also your prior level of income. So they're not going to say you can be the Walmart greeter. Everyone uses that.
Right.
I don't mean to ever, marginalize or criticize a Walmart greeter, but they always say, if I can be a Walmart greeter, they're going to deny my claim. Technically, no, but if there's a will, there's a way. They're going to find a way to deny your claim. And really what they try to do is, no matter what your previous occupation was, any occupation, no matter what it is, they always consider it to be a sedentary occupation. And they think if you can sit there and basically move your fingers, do fine manipulation, you're no longer disabled. And it's, for lack of a better term, it's a BS way of looking at things, because there's more than being able to sit all day. There's more than being able to do fine manipulation, because maybe you can sit for an hour at a time, but you're in a lot of pain. So how the heck can you concentrate and input information if you're dealing with pain the entire time? So they find, based on the policy language, any way they can to deny these claims.
Talk for a minute. Another source of complaints and a lot of the reviews we see are the quality and the substance of the denial letters that claimants receive.
Well, when I get a New York Life denial letter, it's frustrating for my clients, because they're probably the shortest ones I see. They're probably sometimes, they might be 4 pages long. The first page is basically an introduction saying we're not.
4 is long.
Right, it's 3 pages on average, but normally it's like first page.
3 pages on average. Go ahead.
Well, whatever, but it's like 3 or 4 pages,
Yeah.
and the first page is basically introduction. They give the policy language. The last page is the signature page. It's saying here's your ERISA rights. The middle page is the one that has all the meat and bones in it, but more often than not, it really comes down to like 2 paragraphs that they write. The third paragraph is going to be a recycled page from another claim they use. So it's really 2 paragraphs. And the first thing I always tell you is who reviewed your claim, who played a part in making the decision. And I notice more and more that New York Life is doing only internal reviews. When I say internal reviews, they're only using people that are employees of New York Life to render an opinion on your claim. So they have medical directors on staff, they have nurses on staff, and typically they go to the nurses first. The nurse will do a paper review, look at your medical records and say, not enough here, refer this to this doctor. And normally it's an internal medicine doctor. They don't even go to the correct specialist more than half the time. And this doctor will say, give an opinion, and if you get to the meat and bones of their opinion, it's literally like 3 or 4 sentences max. But my criticism is that the insurance company, New York Life, does not use outside doctors. They don't send our clients or these people looking at this video to an independent medical examination, have an independent doctor meet with, speak with, evaluate a person in person. The only way sometimes you actually diagnose somebody is actually by speaking with them and meeting with them, especially mental health claims. They won't send our clients or people watching this video to a functional capacity evaluation, where physical therapists will spend 4 to 8 hours with a person, taking them through physical functional testing to see whether they have the ability to even sit all day or lift or do fine manipulation or type. They don't do any of that stuff. They're using employees, their own employees, to give an opinion after they just do a review of the medical records. Now, I'm sure these people can be qualified. They went to medical school if they're a medical director, right? But the problem is they have an inherent bias, because the people paying their salary, or the great majority of their salary, is the people that are paying these people monthly benefits. And if they give an opinion that helps deny a claim, they just save their corporation, their employer, anywhere from $200 per month or $100 per month, I guess, a minimum, upwards of $50,000 per month or higher. But the maximum I've handled the case is $50,000 a month right now. So anytime they're able to deny a claim and utilizing in-house people only, it leaves the door cracked open for us to do an appeal to get these people back on claim, but it's a frustrating experience, and I know why someone's watching this video right now, because they're frustrated with New York Life, and I get it.
Well, we've handled thousands of New York Life claims, and New York Life, formerly Cigna, has a long, extensive history. I mean, they adopted Cigna. Cigna had the multi-state settlement where they got fined millions and millions of dollars for unreasonable claims handling actions, and then multiple states got together, kind of like the attorney generals type thing, and said, this is the protocol of how you have to review claims. So if they could slash people, they did. Are they following these new procedures? They're supposed to be. It's still bare minimum reviews. It's because, again, they are a monster. They're a big commercial carrier trying to do a volume business. The more they can collect in premiums, the less they can pay out, the more they make money. It's a simple model. And because of that, they have a lot to manage, a lot of claims, and it's a business. It's a cost-benefit analysis. But the thing with New York Life is, probably more so than most of the other carriers, is they're going to do the bare minimum to get by. And unfortunately, that means delays in paying payments, even if you're on claim, denials that shouldn't be, shoddy reviews of files, unexpected denials down the road because they just rely on their own people. And the law allows them to do the bare minimum without any consequences. I'm not saying that they're following the law in terms of denying a claim. It's just that the law allows them to do the bare minimum. And then, yes, you can win in an appeal, which we do all the time, or you can win in a New York Life lawsuit. But, these premiums are cheap for employers for a reason, and you get what you pay for. For people who are really disabled and really have strong claims, most of the time they're going to get approved. Whether they stay on claim or not depends on the personality behind who's reviewing the claim. And like you've said, like we talked about, and you didn't say it in this video, but there are some good people at New York Life and
100%.
Cigna that we've worked with for years. Problem is they can't keep those good people, or they can't get enough of them. It's a problem we're having in every employer, every industry, not just disability. The whole entire country right now has trouble getting good employees to work. So when you come across a good person who wants to do the right thing, it's good. But for the most part, they don't have that. They don't have the resources, and claimants are suffering, and hence posting reviews about terrible experiences with New York Life.
Right, and some people over there are great people, but even the great people are overwhelmed. I don't know if they just give them too many cases to work on, that it's an impossible task for them to take on, and then they rely upon these internal reviews, and I don't know if they always even check them, because sometimes I read them, I'm like, wait, you shouldn't have not denied this claim. Right. They actually said he's disabled, he has this, this, and this, but it's frustrating.
Like they're just going through the motions, but they're not processing, and they're definitely not going through the motions of saying, is there evidence here to show this person's disabled? They're going through the motions of saying, where's the evidence to show they're not disabled? What's missing from the file? How can I find support to say you're not disabled and have that weigh far more than the evidence that says you are disabled? It's a sad but reality, and we know how to beat that. So.
For sure. I mean, it's our specialty, and I know we always discuss this, but it's always important. You have to send in your proof. It's your duty as a claimant to prove your claim to them. I'm going to curse here, but if you rely upon the insurance company, they're going to ask you to sign an authorization. If you rely upon them to gather the records themselves and prove it to themselves that they should be paying you thousands of dollars per month, they're going to do a half-assed job at it, and they do a half-assed job at it. So it's always your duty to provide that proof, and that's something that we do for all of our clients, all of our claimants, and we do it in multiple ways because there's tricks they utilize, and the tricks are they'll say, we never received those records from you. No, we never received the records from your doctors, and we followed up 3 times. And they always call the doctor's office during the lunch hour. They always send faxes at weird hours, So there's tricks, but we ensure our clients are always covered, and all their proof is always submitted in a timely manner in multiple ways to ensure that they can't play those tricks on our clients.
Well, hopefully people will continue to post these reviews on our website and share their experiences so that people can be aware of what's out there and try to take actions that will prevent them from having that same experience. Certainly that's what we do. We help claimants all over the country. We always provide a free consultation, and we're ready to go to battle for them at any given time to make sure they continue to get paid. So thank you for sharing these tips, and hopefully a lot of people watching these videos will find it helpful.